I've been captivated by this idea of our lives becoming new creations in Jesus. And I've been flipping back to Genesis chapter 1 at the Creator God and how creation was formed in the beginning. I think it might give us a clue or some hints in how the new creation is formed in us in our everyday lives. What's been amazing to me when I look back at that original story from Genesis chapter 1 is how God begins the creation. See, I think in some ways we think he begins the creation on day one, but the truth is that he begins the creation before day one. He begins the creation in what the scriptures describe as chaos. As unlikely as it seems, the scripture describes in Genesis 1 this idea of this chaotic void, this like deep, terrible, watery depth. And the description is just like chaos, like frightening, like out of order, like uncontrolled, like furious and teeming. And the scripture says that the Spirit of God hovered over the chaos, kind of like a mother hen or a mother bird would hover over, wanting to give birth, wanting to bring life. I cannot help but think about the times in my own life where God has actually hovered over my chaos. And actually maybe in your life too. You know those bits we've been taught not to talk about or not to reveal or not to expose because they're chaotic and we're so afraid of chaos. As a matter of fact, we've been taught to be afraid of chaos. And to be sure, chaos unchecked, chaos uncreated, if we just let chaos have its way, it will lead to destruction and more destruction. There's no doubt about that. But what if chaos, instead of an enemy, is a starting place for a new creation? See, what if those things in your own life that you've been avoiding or you've been denying or you've been shoving down or you've been hiding, maybe it's a struggle with depression, maybe it's a family secret, maybe it's a history of abuse, maybe it's a secret addiction, whatever it is, but it's chaos whenever you even just think about it. It's like that watery deep. It's like that furious thing that's out of your control and you just think, this cannot be good. But if God is making your life a new creation, isn't it possible that he'll do just like what he did in the first creation? Where the Spirit of God will be right in the midst of the chaos, waiting to use your brokenness and your pain and your furious uncontrollableness and those places where you feel most out of control as a means by which to create a beautiful thing from your life. So maybe instead of avoiding those chaotic places, maybe instead of pretending you don't have any, maybe instead of pushing them down further and further, maybe it's time to actually seek God right in the middle of the things you can't control. Maybe you'll find the Spirit of God hovering over your chaotic life, over your hidden life, your secret life, your places where you feel out of control, just waiting to make a new creation begin out of you. I hope so.